What is a courtroom experience you'll never forget? When I was 23, I walked into court thinking I'd be in and out in 10 minutes. My uncle had passed away 3 months earlier and left me his old Honda Accord. I just needed to sign some papers to transfer the title. I even told my boss I was just running a quick errand and would be back by lunch. The clerk called my name from behind the glass window, Joseph Alvarez. I walked up with my folder of documents, ready to get it over with. But instead of asking for my paperwork, she picked up the phone and made a quick call. 2 officers appeared behind her like they'd been waiting. "Joseph Alvarez?" one of them asked again. "Yes, that's me," I said, confused why there were cops involved in a title transfer. "You're under arrest. There's a warrant for failure to appear. Please come this way." I actually laughed because I thought they were joking. I'd never been arrested for anything. I'd never even gotten a speeding ticket. The worst trouble I'd been in was getting detention at school for being late too often. "Wait, this has to be a mistake," I said. But they wouldn't tell me what it was about. They just kept saying the judge would explain. So I sat in this freezing holding cell for 2 hours, still wearing my work clothes, a gray hoodie and jeans with paint stains on the knees from helping my neighbor fix his fence over the weekend. When they finally brought me into the courtroom in handcuffs, it felt like I was watching someone else's life. The judge started reading charges that made my stomach drop: aggravated assault, property damage, DUI. The date was just 2 weeks ago, in a town called Riverside, which I hadn't been to in years. The name was exactly the same, Joseph Nico Alvarez. But the birth date was off by 1 digit. Mine is March 15th, 1999, his was March 16th, 1999, just 1 day apart. I kept trying to interrupt the judge to show my ID, my work badge, anything. "Your Honor, please, just look at my ID. I work at Home Depot. You can call my manager. Check my phone's GPS history." I wasn't even in that town. The judge wasn't mean, just tired and skeptical. He'd probably heard every excuse in the book. "We'll sort this out, Mr. Alvarez. But I can't release someone with an active warrant from a neighboring state until we verify everything." I used my one phone call to reach my sister, Mary. She dropped everything at her job at the bank and started making calls. She contacted the DMV, public records, even her friend who worked as a paralegal downtown. That night, I shared a cell with some guy who wouldn't stop singing Creed songs at the top of his lungs. Can you smell that smell over and over until I wanted to scream? I didn't sleep at all. I just stared at the ceiling wondering how my life had turned into a crime show episode. Mary showed up in court the next morning with a printed photo she'd managed to get from the other state's arrest records. She marched right up to the clerk and demanded they look at it. The resemblance was honestly creepy: same bone structure, same nose, similar hair. But the other guy had a neck tattoo that said boss, and was missing a front tooth. When the judge finally compared our records side by side, the difference was obvious. Different addresses, different employers, everything different except the name and almost the same birthday. The moment they realized the mistake was so awkward. The clerk looked embarrassed. The clerk kept mumbling apologies. The judge just said, "Your record will be sealed, and will issue formal apologies." But I stood there with my hand still shaking, feeling like something inside me had shifted permanently. Walking out of that courthouse, I felt like I'd lost something I couldn't quite name. Maybe it was trust in the system. Or just the belief that stuff like this doesn't happen to regular people who follow the rules.